and welcome to episode 46 of Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, share a second piece of video game music. I'm your host, LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual co-hosts. First up, Ben, how was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
My week in Snap, endeavoring to keep it snappy as I so often do, was pretty good because it's been all Sanctum Showdown all the time, and I love Sanctum Showdown. I got Astral Projection real quick. I did not have this fun little glitch that gave you extra progress on the thing, but I still got it within 48 hours, and I had a great time. I had a really good deck for it. A lot of people seem to use it and get good results. I don't know if, the event is... there's still a little left, right? Oh, is it just the shop now? Oh, I can't play it anymore. What a bummer.
2 days of shop.
Shoot, I missed out. I was going to grind out a few more charms and get a full set of green glyph borders for myself. Dang it. Oh, well. Now I don't have enough to make the full set.
Next time it rolls around.
That's fine. But yeah, I had charms galore, never ran out of scrolls. It was super fun for me. I have a feeling it was not as fun for a lot of other players. I'm actually pretty sure. I think the mode might be bad, based on the ticketing and stuff and the wide matchmaking banding. I have a feeling that the people who hate this mode are correct. And sure, I'm selfishly enjoying it, but I don't think it's good I think the gameplay is good. I think the gameplay is really fun and exciting. I very much enjoy it, but anywho, I'm sure we're going to talk about it, or maybe we're not. I don't know. I don't remember what we're talking about. That's just what happened during my week in Snap. And it was a lot of Sanctum. Other than that, been playing a lot of Into the Breach. I got to say that probably made, I don't know. I worry that whenever I was playing Sanctum, I was actively contributing it to its unfunness or whatever. I don't know. So I was more than happy to fuck off and play some Into the Breach because that's on Netflix games. So I guess I'm already paying for it. So might as well be playing Into the Breach, right?
I do really like Android. Netflix games. There's this host of good quality games that you just get with your subscription.
Yeah, if you've got an iOS thing, you could be playing Hades. If I make it sound like a lot of fun,
or all of the Monument Valleys, which are excellent.
I think maybe some of those are leaving, or maybe not. I don't know. Some games are leaving. Case of the Golden Idol is leaving, and some other things are. But you can still play it for now if you listen and decide you want to play Case of the Golden Idol real quick. But yeah, I had a great time in Sanctum, and I accidentally played a couple games of Snap here or there with my Sanctum deck. I did this last time where my Sanctum deck was fine and constructed, so I just did that. I never. Yeah, I don't know.
I've played against a lot of Sanctum decks in ranked, and I'm sure
Absolutely.
It was mostly by accident.
That's the thing. I especially think it's worth staying in because there's a good chance that your opponent is in the exact same situation and they are also playing a Sanctum deck or whatever. But yeah, I had so much fun playing Sanctum. I hope they don't bring it back because I think it's evil and bad. But very fun for me.
But what's evil and bad about it? I know some people don't like how repetitive it is. Certainly the energy system isn't great.
You lose twice and you're out of tickets. That feels bad.
Yeah,
and
the energy system is awful.
If I think about how many games in a row I was winning, how long it took me to disappear my 2 tickets, I was ruining the fun for so many people who weren't me. It's not good. I don't feel great about my involvement in the process. I mean, I know that everyone's trying to win, and it's not my fault that I happened to be winning more than I was losing, but I was winning a lot more than I was losing, and I think it's because of the matchmaking banding. I think they should have sequestered me off to play with other scary players, and I should have had a 50% win rate instead of Bananagram's win rate. I don't think this was good or they should keep the scary people away from the people who are just trying to get the goddamn card and
Right. When you're going for extra green glyphs borders and somebody hasn't reached Astral Projection yet, I can see where that feels bad for everybody involved.
Yeah, I don't know. And I got all the credits and things I've never thought about getting borders under any other circumstance in Marvel Snap ever at all since borders were introduced. This was my first time being like, what kind of borders would I like? That's a problem. Like, something's gone wrong if you've got me thinking about like, oh, I have an excess of this currency. I wonder what borders I should get. What the fuck is that? I don't do borders. Like, something went wrong here. I don't know. The matchmaking banding, I think, is the real problem. That and the tickets. The game mode is super fun. And like, the thing is, I'm not saying I'm so great that like I shouldn't have a 50% win rate. They should have put me against people who were going to give me a 50% win rate. Like, that's just like there are people out there. I could have had a losing win rate if they'd been putting me against the correct people or something. Like, I don't know. I think it's flawed, and I think that the people who were having a bad time were not having a bad time because like they're bad players or it's their fault or like they didn't understand the assignment or something. I think it's structured poorly, and I think it creates more misery for more people than it creates joy for, which is a shame because it was creating a lot of joy for me. I was having a blast. I love taking candy from babies. Oh my God, these fucking Guardians are chumps. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Chump City.
My guess for how Second Dinner would answer that is like, if they made the banding more narrow, then the queue times would be longer, which like, I don't know.
I think the people who log in to lose 2 games right away would get over it.
Yeah. Okay. Ree. How was your week in Snap? How did you like Sanctum?
For my week in Snap, I am become supervillain.
Ooh.
I've decided, sorry if I sound off. I'm a little under the weather today, so I'm not like being dramatic. It's just how I sound. Okay. No, my Sanctum experience was not really enjoyable because I didn't get the exploit bug that like jumped you up super fast. And I didn't actually even run out of scrolls. Like, I won plenty. Ben, I used your deck the entire time. I started first and I took my old deck and I tried to like meld it with Batrock the Leaper and Silk and go halfway between that and still have Kitty, because I do love Kitty as just like, you know, a pink, but it was too split in directions, and ultimately I'm like, it's gotta be lean more into the move, and Ben already made that deck, so I just played that, and I did. I like won enough. I was always like maxed out, like honestly at 12 scrolls. I just didn't have that much time to grind this week. And when I first got in, I was excited to see the shop, and then very quickly I realized like, am I like only gonna get enough to get the card? And then I was like, oh no, am I gonna get the card? And I did. I got it yesterday, you know, and it was like, okay, I was able to do it without like nightmare grinding, but I don't know, it was just like a huge bummer to me. And a lot of the time that I was playing, when I wanted to be experimenting with other decks and like doing other things, because I'd just been playing this one deck over and over again, which was like a great deck, like I said, and it was winning, but it was like, you know, I
by the end it wasn't winning as much. The meta had shifted, I thought. I was thinking about taking a second attempt, but there wasn't enough time left by the time I decided that. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. Continue.
Yeah. I was talking about Sanctum. So I don't know. So I just got bored of having to do that's what I had to do every night of the week. That was my time for Snap. And I was slightly stressed because I was worried I wasn't going to end up getting the new card. And I just got tired of doing the same thing over and over again. So,
do you have any sense of how long it took? Like, you got Astral Projection, right?
Yes, I did. I got it yesterday. How long it took
without ever getting the bug?
I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah.
Before it ended anyway. How many hours? I don't know, but it was my playtime for like the whole week. Like I maybe did a couple conquests and some other nights to try and like lose some of those tickets, but yeah, so then I realized it's like, it's starting to feel like with Snap, like I'm paying for the privilege of not having fun. And so I've decided for now, at least. I'm just going to go down to free to play. I'm not going to buy the season pass because I think, honestly, I'll just enjoy it more if I'm less invested in it, which can't be a great thing to say about a game, especially with me, the super investor, and things I like, at least with my time and attention. And, but it's like, I think that, if I care less, I'll have more fun. So, then I was looking at like my future ahead, and it's like, well, like if I'm not going to get Mr. Fantastic first steps, then like, I'm not going to be playing him. So I guess, by necessity, I must be against him, and we must be enemies.
That is the thing.
And therefore, yes, this is the beginning to my supervillain journey, in which, like, I would never consider, okay, like, my brand of troll is more like the hair ones, especially if they have, like, little gems on their tummies. So, like, I'm not, like, an under-the-bridge kind of troll. Maybe a little bit of goblin. But, like, I'm like, if I can't have the new cards, then what does that week come about? Countering the new cards. So it feels like that's like the era ahead of me, because like I took some time today and tried to play when I was supposed to be paying attention to something else and like tried to play just some wacky old decks or something like that, and it just like they were losing, and it's like, well, that's not fun. So it's like I guess we're countering the meta. Anyway. So, my last bits for Week in Snap, I did want to thank, I saw one of our listeners, Sean, used my Nightmare deck to be a Kid Omega deck. Very satisfying. Thank you for sharing. Enjoyed that. And just, in general, once again, thank you for paying us for our podcasting with commenting and complimenting, ourselves. It's kind of like, it's like, for me, it's like I am a sim probably trapped within four walls with no way out, because in the old Sims, you could torture him that way. And then, but it's like every time I see like, a nice compliment or comment, it's like, bing, plus 50.
It brightens your little diamond.
My little sim level goes up. It's always decreasing. It's like the sanity and don't starve, It's just like a flower crown's not going to save this. So, thank you. Appreciate you. And that is, that is me for Week in Snap. I know we got to keep it snappy this week.
That's right. The diamond is a plumb bob, by the way. That's not what I was frantically looking for on my phone.
I knew there was a different name for it. I had a feeling that somebody would have the answer.
Yeah.
I thought it might be a listener, but nope, she was on the call.
No, I knew that one. Named after a tool that has a similar appearance. I was looking for the name of a YouTuber who I think has a smaller Snap channel, but had a video with just some like observations about Snap. And one of them, I should say the name now that I've looked it up. This is Harry Perry 13_Snap. And it was a good video, and it was kind of just like he's been taking ranked mode less seriously, trying to play fun decks and stuff like that. And as his rank plummeted, he noticed a different behavior in players, that all of a sudden the players at lower ranks care more about winning, which might be contrary to what you think, right? Like you think the most competitive players at the top of the ladder are the ones who care the most, but they understand that you're not going to have a 100% win rate. They understand retreating is part of the game. They, at lower levels, it really seemed like they had something to prove. And, he's doing some interpretation off of like emotes, but still, this is my experience too. This season, I have dropped from like 5,000 rank when I first entered to 35,000. And that's not just decay. That's because I have been hunting clips all week long. I had 7 this week, which is a shit ton. And I'll talk about that just a little bit more when Astral Projection comes up. But by far,
I don't think I've seen them all. I need to catch up.
Yeah, by far the most I've had in a single, week. And I've noticed that too, where like I retreat on turn 2 and somebody gives me the sassy Deadpool, like You didn't do anything. It's just a bad location for me. Like, okay. Like they did something clever. Yes.
I have a very shocking story. It's going to be quick. Okay, so I had the bug that made the missions really big. I needed to gain 100 collection level. I needed to make 12 people retreat. I made 11 people retreat in Sanctum Showdown. Anywho, I really wanted to finish it all in Sanctum Showdown. That's all. And, I remember what made me think of it. In order to produce some retreats, I was dropping a few sassy Deadpool emotes when I did something sassy. And it did get a retreat or two.
Yeah, like on the one hand,
I was doing it for the mission though.
But I think emoting for the psychological aspect of the game is okay as long as you're not a dick once the game's over, right?
Well, yeah, I fist bumped everybody at the end, but like I just wanted those retreats, and second dinner told me I needed 12 of them. What was I supposed to do?
I've definitely dropped a strategic emote. Like somebody does something that looks like it's ruined my plans, and I'll drop, Heimdall Iceman, like, and then like I'm fine.
I didn't feel that bad about it because I'm saving these people time. They weren't going to get a bajillion charms. Like go home with your however many charms you got.
Making them retreat with rude emotes. You did them a favor.
I don't feel good about it. I just thought I needed to come clean because it did seem relevant to what you're saying. Sorry about that.
Anyway, Rhee's talking about finding her own fun in Snap and like struggling with ladder and running into meta, and like old decks are losing because, power creep or whatever, meta shifts. And I felt that so profoundly this week where I'm just clip hunting and I can tell people are getting salty or sassy or rude. And I'm just like, it's fine. I didn't hit my combo. I have a very straightforward goal. If I didn't hit it, I'm retreating and starting and trying again. Like I had this entirely separate objective from winning, and it was so much better for my mental state. And normally I'm really good at the mental side of things, but I'm not immune to being tilted. It happens sometimes. And I'm not good at getting off the game when I am tilted. That's like, it's rare when it happens, but I'm bad at taking care of myself when it does. So I'll just spiral into a worse tilt. And then I'm being rude to my family and stuff. And then eventually I catch myself and I'm like, I'm sorry. This is because of the video game I'm playing. I'm turning it off now. But I realize, an hour too late. Anyway, the game has been so much more fun for me playing it at my own rate. I benefited from the Sanctum bug. It let me skip the second tier on the ladder and the top tier. Like, is it Librarian second from the top? I hit that and then immediately went to Sorcerer Supreme. It was like, oh, I got the card in 4.5 hours, which it was only one day of playing for me, but 4.5 hours is a lot of time.
It is, absolutely. Yep. A tavern brawl in Hearthstone, you win one tavern brawl and you're all done. That's their idea of a limited time mode.
I just think that the modes are way too demanding, and even this one, which is much less demanding than Get Kid Omega from High Voltage Overdrive. And I've seen people lamenting like they didn't have enough time to climb ladder this week, or they didn't have enough time to play Infinity Conquest. And it's like,
that's why I got Infinity early.
And I think this is the new norm. Like, we're just going to be slammed with events constantly, and you're going to have to prioritize. And as long as cards are so expensive to acquire, people are going to prioritize getting a card, even if it makes the game less fun for them. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, to think about. I know. Yeah. I think you're right on the money there. Everything you said was true.
Like, I really wish. I'm not opposed to more modes. I just think they need to be less demanding or have smaller pricing, but it's kind of hand in hand, right? Like if the prices are smaller, it's not as urgent for you to be playing every 8 hours to get the, Series 5 card or whatever. Anyway, we need to have a shorter show today. I have a very busy weekend with family birthdays and reunions and the 4th of July. So moving on, do we have any remaining thoughts? Any follow-up thoughts for Dormammu?
Dormammu popped up in Ironheart. I haven't finished the last 3 episodes, but Dormammu got doodled. Dormammu has not appeared on screen, but Dormammu has had Dormammu's name mangled by none other than Riri Williams herself.
See,
I believe she called him Dormammu.
Spoiler when... spoiler
but if Hood's in the show... Yeah.
Yep. I also, for the record, I haven't finished it. Pretty sure Dormammu does not show up by the end. I think Dormammu only gets doodled on a napkin. But recognizably Dormammu.
I'm about halfway through. I think we for sure finished episode 3. We might have finished episode 4. Really, really liking it. Super fun.
Oh, good. There are some silly things about it, but I'm on the whole having a great time.
Dormammu thoughts?
Oh, I did play it for the weekend missions. I tried to get your deck, Lauren, but it has still had like discard stuff in it, and I was like, it was late at night. I just got out of Dormammu, and I found it very boring to play. So I'm like, Dormammu, probably I won't play that much. I don't know why. I thought it would be fun, a quest card, but I'm like, just felt very linear and like not interesting to me. And I'm still facing it a lot. Like
when it was bugged and Ritual 1 let you use discard, it was a way more interesting card because it had these like trade-offs. Like if you go for discard, it's less synergistic, but you get more power for less energy. You know, you didn't have to pay for the card that you destroyed. This one just it doesn't feel that different from just normal ass destroy.
Yeah, I thought I might be interested in getting it later, like once, Destroy is no longer a rich person's archetype that requires a monocle to play. The thing is, I've run into enough Dormammu and I've been on the other end, and I just don't think it's a very interesting card, and I don't want to play it, so I'm probably never going to get it. I mean, I will get it eventually because that's how card acquisition does work. They will thrust it upon me at some point.
I just rather do other destroy things than Dormammu when I'm playing stuff.
I think one of the strengths of Destroy is it's so flexible, and Dormammu like narrows your path. It's really weird because it seems like this interesting chase card, but it's kind of disappointed with it.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Happens. Clea, did you get her? What do you think? Have you played her?
I did.
I did not get her. No.
Okay, I want to hear Ree's thoughts on Clea.
Okay. I didn't play. I haven't built my own deck with her, which is what I need to do. And I super won my first game, which was an auto deck with Kahori, which was like a synergy I hadn't thought about of like where it's like, oh, what if you're not even playing? What if you're just like zip, zip, zip into your hand to fill your hand for other purposes, like Kahori?
How many?
And I Go ahead.
I'm just like, doesn't Kahori also isn't it like they're kind of in agreement, but doesn't Kahori you want to have a lot of cards in your hand, but also not any cards in your hand so you can make Flames of the Faultine?
It's a little bit of a weird balance.
There's some friction there, is there not? But sometimes friction is fine. Yeah, that's true.
If you're combining a bunch of buff cards, right? And Clea, you get that when you're in your hand, right? Which is kind of cool because if you're playing against Killmonger, which I'm seeing a lot more these days, you can beef up your Clea into a 1/6. If you're playing one pulling a lot of buffy things.
Yeah.
And, slam her down in the last turn. But she still gives you those Flames of Faultine while she's in hand. And so she's just synergistic with Kahori in that if you've already, you may get a bunch of, flames through other means. That happened to me while I was playing because, other ways I was buffing Clea. So when I played Kahori,
you play Kahori to take advantage of the flames you've already generated, not to necessarily generate a bunch of fresh flames.
What had happened was I was in a conquest and the create cards costing one more location came up and I was like, nuts. Because this is my first Clea game, I was why? I'm trying to play Clea. And then, but then because this was an auto deck and I hadn't super looked at it hard before I started playing, I drew Kahori and I'm like, oh, I won't even play him. I don't even care, they can sit in my hand at 2 cost all day. And because I had other, cards in hand to play and generate and stuff. So anyway, that was kind of fun. And then I rebuilt an auto deck to see how it had changed over the course of the day. And this was a different deck with Nicholas Scratch and Merlin and stuff. And it just bombed hard against Dormammu. In the fight of Dormammu versus the Wizard Alliance, Dormammu just steamrolled me. I mean, I didn't try the hardest I could have because I was trying to get through tickets. So I was seeing out games. more than I was retreating. But like, it still felt like I'm like, you know, like what I am doing is not coming together as well as what they're doing. So I got to try building my own thing with her, closer to the, maybe leaning into the Kahori, like a dino kind of thing, where it's like, you know, maybe just hand genning. I don't know. That's what I did. I haven't gotten the most time to play with her yet.
I haven't gotten to play against a ton of her because Sanctum, and nobody seems to be playing her in Sanctum very much. I've run into a couple when I've accidentally queued ladder or when someone has been playing something weird in Sanctum. I don't know. I'm still not convinced that the spells costing 1 is a road that leads anywhere. I think they need to cost 0. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think even like 0-1 is probably better.
Yep, better card.
I've played an okay amount of Clea. I've definitely played way more Astral Projection. I did one cool Clea clip where I had like a stack of Moonstone, Walking Torres, and Prodigy, and then I did Flames of the Faultine, Heimdall, Flames of the Faultine. So I got a like 8 times Flames, 2 lanes. But I fast forwarded it. So I didn't ghost it because
this is how they do you.
That's not fun. It's not fun to watch. Oh, cool. Fast forward. Heimdall, fast forward. Like, and it was a lot of work. It doesn't make her good. The like real decks that I've played her in, I've tried a couple. I don't know if I've played Flames of the Faultine once in these decks, and I've won with them just fine. But I don't know. I'm not saying like a 1-3 is like that's a decent card, but if my energy can be spent elsewhere, I'm probably spending it elsewhere. So I've won with Clea in my deck, but not because of Clea, if that makes any sense. So far, I'm not super impressed.
I'm afraid
she does feel super clunky. Like, and maybe I need to lower my ambitions. Like maybe getting a single.
Safety's having fun with her, but Safety will have fun with any card. Safety could have fun with a card that said, I don't know what it would say, but it would say something worse than what Clea says on her.
It's true. Yeah, despite how good of a player Safety is,
he loves bad cards.
He'll enjoy a card that's not good. Yeah. Okay. Astral Projection. Have you two played with this card?
Still haven't gotten to enjoy the spoils of my ass kickings.
Okay.
I just got it, and so since I just got it, I haven't had time to like build my own thing with it yet. And when I put together, I'm like, let me just auto it so I can at least get a game or two with it. And it like puts Cerebro in the deck, and I was like, no, I'm out. Not playing this. But I did see a neat clip where someone waited until on Reddit.
Ultron. Ultron,
oh,
I believe.
No, Ultron, it has Patriot in
that's
it.
Regis.
It's like, yeah, some person read it where they like waited till turn 6 and then on bar, is it Bar Sinister? The one that where it'll copy all.
Yeah, Bar Sinister.
Out. Yeah, Bar Sinister. And they played Cerebro Astral Projection. So it made like 3 Cerebros and then copied, Ultron from their hand. It's just like, boom. And then M'Baku jumped in at the end into the last spot in Bar Sinister.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
Be like a 111 or whatever. I think they were all 11 power. And I was like,
because the other 2 lanes aren't enough.
I'm sorry, I can't credit whoever posted that clip. I wasn't paying attention to who posted it. It wasn't mine.
Yeah, I don't know about that deck specific or that clip specifically, but I know Regis would put out that like the 1-turn kill where it's literally just on turn 6. You play nothing else before it. You just play Ultron and Cerebro, and you have 20 power in 2 lanes. Like, not enough to win every game, but
no, it is not.
It's
like it's like the worst case scenario. If you're able to get Patriot out, then 28 power, and then
I don't think that's a real deck though, is it?
No.
Like,
it's just
that was intended as a novelty, was it not? I don't know like the circumstances of its creation, but
definitely memes. Yeah.
The deck still has like Patriot as other ways to win. Like,
I've mostly done meme things with it. I'm not gonna read off all of mine, but like one thing I did was Shuri, Absman, and then Astral Projection to hit Misery. So I repeat both Shuri's and then destroy them. Astral Projection banishes, and I drop a 24 power Galactus. Like, that was fun. That was cute. Something that I could only do with the skill because it removes itself, unlike Misery. But most of the things I've done with it have just been cute and memes. There are 2 things I think that I've done with it that felt like, oh, this could be modified into a real deck. Both of those is where it's hitting Zola. One of them was a Panther deck, and one of them was... What else did you do with Zola? Oh, it was Nimrod Venom. Because on the last turn, you could play Venom Zola for 6 energy. Like, that's really good. Yeah, because Zola, you don't care if his body, like, you're not playing him for the body, right? So to have a 3-cost Zola, very cool. I don't know if I'm ready to call this a good card. I think it's hard to build around because you need a deck that has very few on reveals so that you can control the target. But I think there will be a few places where it's great. Mm-hmm. Like I really do think Nimrod, where this hits Zola, is probably real. And
I think so.
Black Panther's like questionably real. Like if you're gonna do Wong Panther Zola anyway, like you're either gonna win or you're gonna get teched. Like the thing that Astral Projection opened up was it let me Grandmaster Black Panther out of an armor lane and then Zola it back into the armor lane. Like that's something I could uniquely do because of how much cheaper Astral Projection is.
Having played against slightly more Astral Projection than Clea, I think it feels like a realer card, and it's good enough in a vacuum that I think it'll be good eventually if it's not good right now. Sorry, Lauren, you have more full thoughts than I do. That's like all I think about it.
I don't know, I'm getting interrupted by the dog. It's one of those cards that's going to get better with every Zola light card that comes out. Like every high cost, good on reveal that you might want to do more than once, or you might want to do early, or you might want to combo it with something on the last turn. So it's definitely flexible and cool. I think I'd probably, if I was ranking it again today on our little 4-point scale, I think I'd still give it a 3. Like, it's fine.
I think I would give it a 3 for the first time because I gave it a 4 before.
Okay. We'll skip our vibe check because we're going to do season rankings for the Fantastic Four First Steps season. If you're unfamiliar with our process, we just rank things on a 4-point scale. You could think of it as 1 as hate it or awful, and 2 as bad, and 3 is good, and 4 is great or love it. Sometimes it's subjective. Sometimes it's how good it is. We'll talk about it. Okay. I'll try to institute a rotation here. First up, Mr. Fantastic First Steps, Season Pass card, a 2/2, end of turn, give a card in your hand -1 cost or +2 power. We'll follow the same order as we can snap. Ben, what are your thoughts?
I want this card to be a 3 because I think, like Ree, I may also be stopping my Season Pass. I think it's a 4, though. You can see the cards. The thing about Surge is you're kind of flying blind. You don't know what the next card is, but this is only giving -1 cost or +2 power. So like in theory, it's not sprinting the way Surge can once per turn, giving a thing -1 and +1. Like Surge runs a little faster at top speed, but like Mr. Fantastic is slow and steady winning the goddamn race. Doesn't tell you when you need to play these cards. Sure, you can double up on this effect once with Invisible Woman, though, that's not as flashy as the other things you're going to be doing with her. Seems like a very strong card, like too strong. Like I'm feeling really bad, but like skipping the Season Pass kind of is only meaningful, because I don't know. I feel like it's going to be more meaningful than if I skipped when the Season Pass card wasn't as good. I don't know. That's the thing. I still haven't made up my final mind. I might get this card, but I'm not looking forward to playing against it all month. It seems very strong.
Yep. Ree, your thoughts?
Okay. So I do. This is 4 stars for me. I feel like this card also, obviously the comparison is to Surge, and I feel like this card makes Surge the Surge at Home card. Like we have Surge at Home with Surge. This card does it. It's better. It's just better. It can hit a card in your hand more than one time, which a lot of cards like Shaw and stuff, you want to hit more than one time. You don't, I think it's better, than Surge for like the same exact cost and power. So, I'm surprised it's not 3 cost, maybe, to be honest. I don't know. So, those are my thoughts. I think it's strong.
Yeah, I agree. 4 points on this one. I think it wouldn't surprise me at all to see this get nerfed. Doesn't feel like one that's going to get nerfed right away, but like in 3 months,
That's the thing that sucks about skipping the season pass is because like you miss out on these cards when they are
when they're OP.
Yeah, broken good, right? Yeah, if you were just getting Galacta now, like she's still fine, but she's not +3 anymore,
I mean, they had to hurt her so that they can sell Fantastic cars.
Yeah, this card just seems too good. Like Ree said, it can hit multiple targets, hidden the same target multiple times. That's something that Surge can't do. If this is, if Surge is Surge at Home, I don't even want to think about what Fastos is. This is just, it's too good. It's way too flexible, which I always admire when they make a season pass card that's flexible in the sense that early game and late game players can enjoy it. But this is like every archetype, like just
why wouldn't you play this card?
Way too generic. Maybe the nerf is going to 3 costs. So I think it's more likely they try +1 power, but that won't be enough.
It's the cost, really. Like that's I think the larger issue.
Yeah, I think Ree's right. I think 3 cost is probably the right place for it, and it would still be good, but that would really help distinguish it from Surge. It would still shit all over Fastos. Fantasticar, a 4/7, our super premium season pass, as far as we know, as far as data mines indicate, the first one. So for an extra $11, you cannot opt to get Fantasticar, but not Mr. Fantastic. As far as I know, right? Don't you have to have the premium pass?
There's no way. You got to get the, yep.
Yeah. But you don't have to buy them simultaneously. You can later in the month decide you want to go super premium, I guess.
Yeah, if they missed low on Fantasticar, they might nudge it up there.
Ree, you'll go first on Fantasticar after I read it off. A 4/7, activate, give your end of turn cards +2 power.
I gave it a 1 star, to be honest. I'm not even, and this is as it's releasing. I know looking ahead, we're getting even more activate, even more end of turn stuff. But like almost even considering that, like 4 cost is a top slot. You know what I mean? Shang-Chi is a 4 cost, and a bunch of other cards that can get you more power for 4 cost. And this is like Spectrum for activate, and it's an activate, or no, sorry, not for activate, but for end of turn cards, which so already now to get value out of this, like Spectrum, you need the rest of your cards to be end of turn so you can then Fantasticar them, which Spectrum's not that great, to be honest. And I feel like even when you're mixing end of turn and activate, you'd probably just slot something else in this slot. I think it's very narrow in that you'd put it in some deck where you're really trying to tribal up on the end of turn. So it's just, I don't see you playing this card very often, ever.
Even after they gave it the point of power?
No, there's just better. I'd honestly rather have a Jessica Jones than this. And I never play Jessica Jones so anymore, sadly, to my great sorrow and personal lack of development. Okay, so that's what I think. 1 star. Yeah. They're probably easing it. They're throw a bad card in the first season premium pass so people don't.
I do think that is part of their thinking. Yes.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that. I'm planning to skip this one. I am getting Mr. Fantastic. My current intentions are season pass only. but cutting other spending until the game is more friendly and I'm feeling better about supporting it and all that.
Yeah.
Fantastic Car I'll be skipping, partially because it's $11 extra, partially because it just seems boring and not very good. But then next month's or the following month's Silver Surfer First Steps, that looks like a pretty fun card. So that's going to be the real test for me. Like, am I ever going to be a super premium season pass girly? Say that 10 times fast. The SPSP, I think this card stinks. I was going to give it a 2, but I think I'm going to follow Rhea and give it a 1, because if I don't give like cards that are just pretty bad a 1, then I'm never giving anything a 1. They don't make cards that are dog shit almost ever. You know, we could reserve that for our Hulklings, but I say that.
Hulkling's fun. Fantastic.
Hey.
Hulkling was in the deck that won the Tournament of Pride undefeated. A very sick move deck, by the way. I don't think it won because of Hulkling, but
I also don't think it won because of Hulkling. But
Hulkling was InfiNOT more than it was anything helpful. Anyway, end of turn,
it was a fun choice.
Not a very good synergy, right? I think the ones that you're most interested in are ones coming this month: Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, The Thing. There are some older ones that I think like
Hydra Bob, Thena.
Yeah, Hydra Bob, Thena, exactly the ones I was going to say. Or Marvel Boy, even Bruce Banner. He's weird because when he transforms, he keeps his buffs. No other card in the game does that. No other transformation does that. Adam Warlock getting a +2. Like, you don't hate that, except you're not doing it until turn 5. Like, 4-cost activate card is just so freaking clunky, and this is not worth it. Not worth it. 1 point. Boo. Hiss.
All right. Well, I'm going to be a contrarian. I guess I'm going to give it 2 points just because of some of these other end of turn cards this month. Like, also, they gave it a point of power. It was data mined at 4/6, and I laughed and laughed and laughed. And I was like, why? What is this bad card? And I still kind of think it's a super stinker.
Tell me, are you gonna play Fantasticar over Galacta?
I'm not going to own Fantasticar.
Well,
they nerfed Galacta specifically because of Fantasticar. That wasn't in the notes, but you know that was part of the thinking.
I'd still rather play.
They wanted to sell some Fantasticars, so they had to take Galacta down a notch. And I mean, Galacta is still a better card than Fantasticar, but like, how many hits do you need to make Fantasticar worth it? 3, 4?
I'm just saying, I think your 2 is high, but you know.
No, it probably is, but I'm just adding some texture. I mean, like, Safety Blade seems excited about this card in conjunction with the new Human Torch, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure. I kind of think that new Human Torch doesn't need Fantasticar. I kind of think that Fantasticar is not the best way to do anything.
Better ways
no, I agree. Fantasticar is a stinker. I'm just saying, like, it's not like unplayably bad. Like 4/7 is like a body. And, you know, if it hands out another +6 power, you've played a 4/13, which is not, I mean, it's not like, you know, Doom 2099 level stats, but like if we're doubling things with Human Torch and, you know, like, I could see it being, I'm not excited about playing it, and I'm very excited to skip it. And it's not hurting me the way that new Mr. Fantastic is hurting me to skip. I don't know. I'll give it 2. In my heart, it's a 1. Like, I hate the dang card, but it's not as bad as it looked when we first saw it, when it was a 4/6 and Galacta gave +3.
Okay. Yeah. Agreed all around. You need a lot of hits for this to be worth the downside of
being a 4-cost activate. Yeah.
And I don't think there's the critical mass yet for
I don't think so either.
Notably, there's a bunch of end of turn cards in High Evolutionary, right? Like,
yeah, it's got Evolved Cyclops,
and Misty Knight,
got
at
Misty
least,
Knight,
and Hulk.
And Hulk, yes.
So, like, maybe I could see it fitting in a High Evolutionary deck. I'm
not sure I could,
but I don't see it making High Evolutionary a real threat.
I don't think it belongs there. I think it disagrees with the rest of the deck's mission, I think. But
Yeah. Okay. Herbie, the little robot. This is the first week Series 5 card. A 2/3. Each turn this is in play, swap to a new activate ability until one is used. Kind of Nico Minoru-ish. There are 4 different programs. We don't know if they're going to rotate evenly or if you could, go from program 1 to 3 to 1. We don't know. But here they are. Program 1, activate. Next turn, you get +2 energy. Program 2, activate. Give 2 of your cards at each other location +1 power. 2/7 overall. Program 3, activate. Create a rock here. Set its power to 4. Program 4, activate. Double this card's power. Oh, I'm first. I'll give this a 3. It's a cute little utility card. Maybe it's worthy of a 4. Like, I'm thinking about Nico more, and it's like only half of her spells are really good, but like she's an excellent card because you have full control over when you use the spell, and that's how Herbie's working too. I actually think it's a really cool use of the activate ability, and I like a low cost activate where the activate matters. Double this card's power is like 2/6. That's like you use that if you haven't ever had anything good, right?
I mean, there's one way this card is smaller than a 2/6, and that's if it gave you 2 energy.
Yeah, which is you're gonna do stuff with that 2 energy.
Yeah.
Assuming you play it early and you get the.
Yeah.
It's bad on turn 6. I'll say that, or even on turn 5 if the energy is the thing.
Oh, playing it on 5. Yeah, play it on 5, activate on 6, and it doesn't. You get 2 energy for the non-existent turn.
But that's a 1 in 4.
Right.
3 out of 4 times on turn 5, it's still fine.
I have such a hard time giving an activate card a 4. I'm gonna stick with 3 for now. But I think actually a card I'm interested in looks kind of fun and looks good enough to actually belong in a deck. Yeah. Is +2 energy probably the best one?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the circumstances, but mostly, yeah.
Okay, that's
I think doubling power could also sometimes be the best one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're invested in buffing him or whatever.
But I like the one that gives the +2 to the other locations. I feel like
that one's cool.
That's a very cool one, and it spreads it. I like wide
reach
power
too. I know Ree likes reach.
Well, it's only reach if you've got cards there already.
Yeah, but it's an activate, so like you can wait until later turns to do it.
Yeah, but like a lot of the reach that we talk about is like getting into locations that you couldn't get into, and Herbie doesn't get you into new locations.
You're right. There's something to be said for adding power to a clogged location. Your opponent was expecting it to be this much power. Say like a space throne, and then all of a sudden you're like, psych. I'm just thinking about Nico, right? I would say her best spell is discard or destroy to draw 2. I don't know if you two would agree with that. But that's the ramping card or the ramping spell, and so that's why I think the +2 energy probably is the one that will have the biggest bang. Okay, Ben, Herbie.
I think I'll give it a 3, but it's a high 3. This is a very strong card. 3 out of the 4 things make it at least a 2/6. And the other one is very good. The other one is better than that. So like, what do we like? If your floor is 2/6, that's very good. And like the ceilings are high, and like all of these are sometimes the best one. Like the one that boosts 2 of your cards at each other location is sometimes the best one. Creating a rock here and setting its power to 4, that's also sometimes the best one. Like 2/7, and also like filling up the lane if you think they're about to do some bullshit. Like, there's something to be said for that. Like, I'm not in the mood to take an acid arrow. You can keep that on your side. I got a rock over here. It's got 4 power. Yeah, I like this card a lot. Also, for those who didn't piece this together with the data mine stuff for next month, they're giving us an early preview of Robots Means Activate Month. So that's why Herbie doesn't seem to agree with the matchy-matchy Fantastic Four and the Fantasticar, and why he doesn't give a shit about the end of the turn. It's because he's secretly not a Fantastic Four card. He's one of these new robot cards that all have activate and all care about activate. And we're robots and we love activate. And that's what you need to know about robots now, is that they all have activate.
Cutely, though, each of these abilities is tied to a Fantastic Four member, right? Like doubling as Human Torch, creating a rock as the Thing, stretching in other locations as Mr. Fantastic. I don't really know why +2 energy is Invisible Woman, at least not the card.
I don't know either. I'm not going to give him credit for that. But yeah, like they think that like this is really cute design. Every robot has activate. Let's all give them the applause that they want. It's very clever, guys.
It's kind of cute.
It's fine. Great. I'm just saying, like, I recognized it immediately and I was like, oh, how very Magic the Gathering in 2006.
You know? Okay.
Okay, I've been waiting so long to disagree with you guys.
Yes,
it's my turn.
Bring it.
Okay, I think you guys are too high. I think often you get too high, honestly. I think I once heard Lauren say she thinks Ben is the most often accurate in cards. But when I reflect and I think about all the times I was right and Ben was wrong, like Scarlet Spider and stuff, and I think this is a Scarlet Spider for you. Because, one, okay, you're going to get 2 energy. I mean, look at these other 2. Look at Mr. Fantastic First Steps. Look at Surge. I'll throw those in almost any deck. They almost go with any deck. This card, Irby, it's great, but you're going to build around. It's going to be a deck that I build where you've got like Nikia and Gwenpool and stuff. So like when you're buffing, all these abilities are good because it's like, yeah, I'll buff that. I put a Shaw down there, or like I'll buff up this card and then I'll double its power, you know, or +2 energy is great, but it's not guaranteed because like Nico, right? Nico was one cheaper than this. Also gives you an even larger toolbox to play with, right? And like it can't be stolen away from you with the Red Guardian. I do think this is like could be a really good card in a lot of decks, and it'll be a really fun card deck. But does this card just get thrown random nilly into decks the way you can with Mr. Fantastic First Steps and Surge? No, you're building for this card. You're building around this card. That makes it's not a 4-star like Mr. Fantastic.
That's why we didn't give it 4 stars. We gave it 3.
I think it's a 2. I think it's a 2-star because I do just think like Mr. Fantastic, what makes Surge a 3-star maybe, which I mean definitely puts Herbie down to 2. I feel like. So yeah, I do think it's fun, and I'm excited. Honestly, one of the things I'm most excited for, and I should be more excited because I love buffing decks, and I don't know, maybe there's like a Nomura meme in here somewhere with the well, no, it's 2 other cards, so you wouldn't be Nomura-ing it, but like
you could Nomura it and then double it.
Yeah, right. Like I like Okoye, Nikia, America Chavez, you know, Power Buff Girls kind of decks. So like I'll have a lot of fun with it, but I'm also real excited for like the upcoming like rock tribal decks. Because I'm excited, it'll probably suck when it comes around, but like it seems fun to just like, now we have Rhino and stuff. It's like, I don't know, let's make rocks and do something with that. But I do think this card is an activate card. You can't play it on turn 6 the way you could play a Nico on turn 6, where you're holding Nico for the ability you want through many turns. You know, this is more limited. It's activate. You need to build around it to make use of a lot of its abilities. It's going to get overshadowed in a lot of decks by more general cards like Mr. Fantastic First Steps. That's my pitch on this card. Fun. I like it. I want to get it. I'm excited for it. But I don't think it's like a, you know, like the best 2-drop card. Yep.
I mean, I agree on that. Whether or not I give it the same point thing. But yeah, fun card. Human Torch First Steps. A 3/2 the following week Series 5 card. End of turn. +1 power. Once per game, if your side here is full, double this card's power. It's on Ben to review first. Yeah.
I hate this card. I have difficulty evaluating it because I just dislike it.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
A 3 cost that Ben hates?
This is so bizarre. I thought you would love this card. Okay,
no, I'm just like, we have Sebastian Shaw. I like Sebastian Shaw. I mean, like, Sebastian Shaw might not be good enough these days. A lot of people aren't even playing Sebastian Shaw, and I don't even always play Sebastian Shaw anymore. I dislike the design very much. Also, I have some rules questions about how this interacts with Invisible Woman, and the same rules question about the next card. So, like, let's ponder that for a moment. So this once per game, if your side here is full, double this card's power. Does Invisible Woman allow you to get your once per game off twice? What do we think?
No,
because it's a once per game.
That's what I think. I think it's like an activate charge. Like, if your once per game went off, your once per game went off, even if for whatever reason
Literally says once per game.
Yeah.
But it also says this turn, your end of turn abilities happen twice. So, like, I don't know if, like, you get the effect twice no matter what, or if it checks twice and you get the effect twice.
I thought you meant regular vanilla Invisible Woman.
Nope, I'm asking,
for Steps Invisible Woman, no, it's once per game.
I think they go intuitive.
See,
they want it to be intuitive, and it says once per game.
Like, as a person who wants to live in a world that makes sense, once per game means once per game, right?
Yeah, I think it might try. If the side is...
Yeah, I want the language.
If the side is full, it might try to proc it again, but then it's like, nope, you already did it once per game. So you just get the extra power, nothing else.
But, like, I don't know. Things don't always work like they seem like they should work. So, like, I'm wondering if they wanted... I don't know. I don't know what their priorities are or how they think things go, because sometimes they break a different way than we would break on questions of logic and things.
It's too good if it can double twice like that.
See, that's my feeling also. Either way, I hate this card.
What's your rating?
I've been talking too long about rules that probably aren't gonna matter, I think.
All right, yeah, I guess I'll give it a 3. I'm worried it's a 4. I'm worried it's a 4. I hate that, like, the end of turn, like, it's going to be in Shang-Chi range only after it's too late to Shang-Chi, and I think that is such horse shit. As a person who doesn't even play Shang-Chi on the regular, I think this card is icky. It's probably a 4. I don't know.
I love dodging a Shang with Havoc.
Yeah, but that's you have to work for it with Havoc.
Yeah, it has a bit of a different downside. Ree.
Okay, I do think we need to pick it up. Forget it. Lauren has a hard stop time. Okay.
Sorry.
For me, this is a 3-star card. I think it's super like, you love this in a surfer, right? Because it's like at the end of the game, after you've hit it with surfer, it'll double its power. It's a surfer card that you want to play early, right? The problem with so many surfer cards, like, say, other 3-cost cards, you kind of want to play them late. So perfect surfer card seems pretty powerful, but, like, once again, not a 4-star, not like Jeff when Jeff released, where it's like, pull in every deck, So for me,
it suffers enough being played late?
Huh?
I'm like trying to understand. Do you think it suffers when played late? Is that why you think it's probably not a 4?
You played on the last turn.
Because in my mind, where I'm deciding 4 is 4 needs to be a card that, like, is like so like Mr. Fantastic First Steps, where why not just put it in every deck? It'll help you in literally almost every deck you're playing, right? And this deck, it's like, I'm building a surfer deck for it, and it's really strong in that deck, but it needs help. Like, it needs surfer. This isn't so powerful. I'm throwing it in literally, like, it goes across so many archetypes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I like this. I would prefer to live in a world where it's a 3. I'm taking mine down to 3. It's a 3-star.
I'm similarly split between 3 and 4. I think I'm going to err on 3. End of turn is both good and bad timing for it, right? Like,
it's great. Like, how many times in Surfer you feel it's like it pairs well with Brood? It's just such a great Surfer card.
Yeah, very, very good Surfer card, right? I'm trying to think of other places where it's like, if you get it down late and it's only a 3/6, like, do you want that? If you're moving stuff around or something gets destroyed, even on the last turn, then it's too late for it to get its doubling ability. But
you got to work for it, yeah. But that's why I think it's good in Surfer, too, because you have plenty of cards in Surfer in your hand that if you drew it late, you'll just play the other shit in your hand that's still great to play late,
Yeah, okay. I think it pretty easily replaces Gladiator in any deck that's just looking for big power. on a 3.
For a 3.
If it's okay, maybe it's even a pro that it can build up to that much power, but not right away. So it's kind of throwing priority.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good card.
I don't like this card. I just don't think it should be in the game. It's a stinker.
I like the thematic, though. They actually go together as the Fantastic Four, where they all, if 4 cards are united, like their powers go off. I like kind of like that.
It's just that one of them stinks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've committed to the 3, but really might be better than that. The Thing, First Steps, a 5/6, the following week Series 5 card. End of turn, +2 power, once per game. If your side here is full, destroy an enemy card here with less power. So even if it's on the last turn, you're still looking at an 8 power card that can destroy up to 7.
Up to.
First.
I think I still gotta give this a 3. This feels more powerful. It feels pretty good to me. You know what I mean? Like, but it is random. It is less power, so you're not like taking down InfiNOTs or something with it. Shang-Chi is still, and it's a 5/6. But like,
well, it's always a 5/8 at least.
And it's, if you're playing a card with a lot of buff stuff, you know what I mean? Then you might actually replace something like a Shang-Chi with that. Honestly, I'm talking myself down to a 2 as I'm looking at its like cost and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're I think I talked myself down to a 2. At first, I was just so excited. I like the ability to destroy enemy cards is, often very good.
Yep, but it's a 2099 Spider-Man 2099, not a Shang. Like,
that's the thing.
Yes, exactly. That's a good comparison.
The random is just
that's
killing
the part
it.
that loses me. Yep.
I'm just gonna say real quick, I give it a 1. Okay. Ben.
Yeah, I think if I gave Fantastic Art a 2, I have to give Thing First Steps a 2, probably.
And a 2, it's still
but maybe it's a 1. I don't know. This card seems like hot garbo to me. That's the one I was talking about. Like, yeah, it's really cool how the Fantastic Four come together and all work together, except one of them absolutely just is good. No, don't play this one. This one stinks. I mean, like, I don't know. This one is as like ridiculous as the Torch is. Like, I don't know.
I think it's much easier to imagine this getting buffed than to imagine Fantastic Art getting buffed. Like, this is just,
I think it's a one.
If it's not better.
This part is so bad. I
change it to highest power destroyed, and it's. I don't think that's too good.
At a target.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god, it would be so good if it was targeted. Oh wow. Yeah, this card stinks.
I don't know about so good. Like, if you
it
play
would be so much better. It would have a reason to
5/10.
exist. There would be a situation where you'd be like, oh, I think I could do something with this card. Whereas with in its current form, there's no. You're not like, oh, I think I could. No.
I think it's better than you guys are trying, because I think there are places where you could slot this in because it made sense maybe with other stuff you're doing, and like destroying an enemy card, and sometimes it could be useful.
I have one other consideration. You need to fill the lane, and that's easy in Surfer with Human Torch. Like, Human Torch wants to be in a deck where you're going to fill up that lane, and he gets to double his thing.
Okay.
Why does the Thing want to assassinate somebody at a lane that you fully staffed with 4 cards? What are we doing? It's so...
What if you're like playing an Astral Projection deck? So you need to be careful what on reveals you have.
Astral Projection disappears at the end of turn.
No, but I'm saying you can't have too many. You want on reveals like that. You're limiting the on reveals you're playing so you can hit specific ones, right? So that when you play it, you'll hit your Ultron or hit other ones. So you're looking for cards that don't have on reveals that, and then with Ultron, you're going to fill the lane. I'm just saying their use case. It's like how everyone, like Infinity Ultron at the beginning was like, kind of bad, but you still won sometimes because like shenanigans. I know.
I thought it needed a buff.
I did.
It'll win if you get Yellowstone, Purple Stone. Yeah.
Huh?
It would win if you got yellow, purple, or purple, red. It's like that was good enough.
I did not notice a lot of people playing Infinity Ultron and winning, but I only saw the ones that I saw.
Okay, if you have Invisible Woman, let's say everything goes right. You have Invisible Woman first steps out. We'll talk about her in just a second. She doubles your end of turn abilities. You get Thing out on curve. He's a 5/12. Like, that's good. We don't have any 5/12s that you can just put in your deck. There's a 5/14 who's Red Skull.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
He's worse than 5/14 by the time you count his ability. So
I still don't think that 5/12 is like something we need to like really award a lot of brownie points for. Like, there are other big fives, like you get your Agamottos and things. Like 5/12 is, and you had to work for it. You had to play another card to help him get there and stuff. Like, I think that to count this as a 5/12 is pretty generous. Okay. Or to even award it anything based on the situations in which it will be a 5/12. I'm like, we gave you so much help. Like, I don't know.
So much investment. Yeah, I don't like having to fill a lane with a 5-cost card. Invisible Woman first steps. The following Series 5 card. A 3/5. Activate. This turn, your end of turn's ability happened twice. Me first, I think. I'm trying to look at the other end of turn abilities because, like, Mr. Fantastics is fine. Herbie's is irrelevant. It changes abilities.
Herbie
twice.
Doesn't have an end of turn ability.
Oh, it's not end of turn. I was thinking
Herbie is a robot, not a Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Like, Havoc is a bad one to happen twice, except for at the end of the game. Thena is very good. Marvel Boy is very good. Mm-hmm. I think based on existing Bruce Banner, to have the 1 in 3 chance twice.
I'm not angry at Hydra Bob for moving twice.
Yeah,
I don't think that's in the deck. I don't think that is the deck. But I mean, like, just end of turn things I'd like another shot at. Sure.
Eson's huge. Atuma, if you're building for it, could be huge.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Warlock drawing twice. Like, there's some good stuff here. Doom 2099 dropping 2 cards. Wow. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it can be very powerful, but it is very clearly a combo card, and those struggle to be reliable. Ben.
I kind of think I might have to go 4. This is just a card that's very good at its job. In fact, it's the only card that has its job, and it's a 3/5. And it's the only way to do the thing that it does, and the thing it does is worth doing. At least I think the thing it does is worth doing. I think specifically it's going to be nuts in the Surfer deck with Human Torch first steps. And I think maybe that's enough. I honestly, like, Human Torch, I took him down to 3. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Those two together are going to be a bother. I mean, another crack at Mr. Fantastic first steps doesn't feel hugely significant, except, like, that's an extra energy sometimes. Or, an extra +2. I think that 3/5 body, and let me take a look at these other end of turn cards. The previous Strange Supreme. We didn't mention that. Marvel Boy. I don't know. I guess I'll put her down at 3.
Okay.
But she's very good at her job.
Ree.
So I give her a 2. I can see, but like, this is a far better card than Fantasticar for an activate card that affects end of turn abilities. But she is an activate card. You're not playing her on turn 6. And you're building a deck. You're building a deck around her. She's really good because, like, Mr. Fantastic First Steps is really good and stuff like that. That's what that's what enables her, is, like, I don't know. I think she's just, like, she won't be bad, but she's narrow and she goes in very specific decks.
Yep. She is super narrow. That's for sure. Quick math, because I couldn't do it off the top of my head. If you used her with Bruce Banner, it'd be a 55% chance that he hulks out.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Our last one, based on data mines, Mole Man. We don't know which series, but a limited time event card. I would guess Grand Arena. From the patch notes said that we're getting Grand Arena and High Voltage, I think. Again. I would guess that he's there to headline the new mode. A 3/3. On reveal, banish the top card of your deck, add 2 rocks to your hand, set their power to the banished card's cost. Cost. I definitely read this as power the first however many times I read it. Ben.
You know, this card seems hard to evaluate. I feel like I've thought about this card before and I had more firm opinions about it. I feel like I had a better handle on it, but something happened in the weeks since last we read it, and now I don't know what to make of it. Yeah, I think I'll give it a 3. I don't think this card is for me because it wants you to be playing a 3-cost card that wants you to be playing a 6-cost. I don't know. I don't like 6-cost cards all that much. There are 2 of them that I like, and they're Magneto and Heimdall, and this guy isn't friends with them as far as I can tell. I don't know. Maybe it's a 2. If I don't know what the deck, I just like the design very much. I'll give it a 3 on just on moxie, and gumption. It's bold. It's ambitious. I like banishing the top card of your deck. I like Mole Man, the character. I think he's goofy and fun. Probably my favorite thing about the Fantastic Four. Yeah.
Okay.
Mole Man gets a 3 on vibes.
All right, so honestly, for me, I'm surprised you rated it so high. This is kind of like a 1.5 because it's better than Fantastic. I feel like, or it's got more promise. I'm here for the Rock Tribal, but realistically, like for 3 cost, you're going to play this for what? You know what I mean? Like combos you can get with other 3 costs are going to be a lot better. There isn't like a Rock Tribal to be going with it yet. There are better ways to gen cards. Like, why are you trying to banish the top card of your deck? That doesn't really seem that helpful, and it seems hard to control the cost of. Like, if I'm playing something with this, it's probably something little, like Collector, I don't know. Whatever else I'm doing, I'm thinking smaller cards. I don't know. So, I don't see the vision for this yet. So it's like a 1.5.
Do we think banishing cards off the top is ever good with like Iron Lad if we're just trying to like narrow things down or something? I don't know.
You don't know. What if it's the card you wanted to hit with like...
Yeah, you have to then run Howard, which like isn't the worst card, but he is taking up a spot in your deck, and you have to get him before Mole Man. Like,
so I guess you're running a Zoo deck then, right? Because the Zoo deck has reason to play Howard, because orange stuff.
What are you sacrificing with Mole Man? You're going to sacrifice your Gilgamesh or Khazar?
That's what I'm saying.
I was just thinking like it might be an alternative to Howard card? Just to like narrow, like make it more predictable. I don't know. I'm reaching. I'm just trying to be optimistic about him, but
I think he's playable, right? We're thinking, okay, you could make 2 demons, right? That's like ideal with exceptions for Death and Scar and Arjun, and Dormammu. You're making 2 demons for a 3/3 instead of a -3 that you can do with Hood, but there's so many things you can do with Hood, right? You can eat him with Carnage, or you can bounce him, or you can Walking Torres him, or you can Valk him. Like, so many ways that you can mitigate Hood that kind of makes being a 1 cost so much better than being a 3 here. And that's the ideal scenario for Mole Man, right? You might be drawing 2 1/2s, and it's like, is that...
All right, I'm taking him down to 2. He's a 2 on vibes.
He's a 2 for me also, and I think there will be places for him, right? Whether it's...
Will there? I'm less sure now as I think about it.
Maybe when cards interact with the
so much. He's so cool.
What's that?
There will be cards
what
that
if a
interact
card
with the
comes
banish
along
pile.
that lets
promised.
you gains power from banished cards or something then, but it's just not there yet.
Yeah.
This is a friendly
you can do better in a different way. Like,
I'm sure we will get banished Morbius. I don't know if we're going to interact with the banish. Like, I don't know if you can ever pull back a banished card, right? Like, if you banish Agamotto, does temporal manipulation pull him back? I don't know.
I think so. Maybe.
It's really hard to banish him.
I believe so.
Books?
It would be a pain to test because you'd have to hit him with the hotel location or with Yondu, and that's hard to hit a 5 cost with Yondu. Anyway, kind of interesting, probably not interesting enough to encourage people to play a game mode for him. Maybe that means he's the high voltage card.
Oh, that means he's getting buffed.
Moving on to our side quests. First up and only, secret homework. Ree, you assigned the secret homework. What was it?
Okay. So the secret homework was our sequel to video game music. 'Cause the rule, very Fight Club-esque, the rule of video game music secret homework is you only get one. You get one thing, because it's so easy to go on and on music that we like. And so the thing I like most is figuring out ways to cheat around that. Like, I almost thought, maybe I'll just make a public playlist on my favorite, video game covers or something. So I debated a couple things, but what I decided on, I'm like, when I thought of this, I'm like, this is what people need, this recommendation for this, year and day in our lives is something. This is where this recommendation comes from. Something I used to do when I was being super burned out and feeling low is I would do what I would call rave showers. Now, don't get excited when you hear rave because it's me. It's not rave, but I would. Okay, so I have, for some reason, over my shower, they put a light instead of a vent. I don't know, but that did give the opportunity for a smart bulb to go in there that I can do all kinds of colors. Also, I have a little essential oil diffuser that I would only pull out for rave showers that also lit up different colors and kind of have this fog machine effect, And then I would turn off all the other lights and just have, lights coming down on me, and I would get my Bluetooth speaker, which is specifically waterproof, so it can be a shower, not in the shower speaker, but for taking shower speakers. And I would just I believe they call it bliss out in the shower. And the album, the best album for this, and I haven't rave showered in a long time, but I do listen to this album a lot late night when I'm working, because the project that I've been working on, in fact, is inspired by synthwave, because I love synthwave. And this is a sequel album by Helent, if I'm saying the name properly, mostly Reddit, who is one of the big names in video game remixes and lo-fi kind of music in general. And the original album was called Legend of Synthwave, and it was remixes from Zelda in a synthwave style. And then just last year, 2024, Legend of Chillwave was released. And it is the perfect, I highly recommend this. If you want to get into a shower and let red and purple and blue light wash over you and forget about your life and pretend that you are a synth person in a cyberpunk world in a big city, and after you get out of the shower, you're going to hop on your electro bike and ride into a neon sunset. This is the album for that. So I highly recommend rave showers, use candle lighting if that's your vibe instead of, multicolored mood lighting. But, Legend of Chillwave. Released by Game Chops, who frequently is my most, Spotify tells me every year is my most listened. My most listened, because they facilitate the release of a lot of video game remix albums, which is what I usually listen to when I'm working. So that was mine for this time. And let's see, Ben is assigning the new homework. So Lauren, give us your one thing related to video game music.
My one thing was pretty easy. I had quite a few runner-ups last time. But listener Flamser in the Speakeasy, our little section of Discord, brought up Sayonara Wild Hearts, which was probably my second or third. And I was like, you know what? Just because a listener suggested it does not mean that I should not raise it to everybody.
That's
and since I'm
morbid.
only allowed to have one, it's the one I'm using. It's one that I listen to a lot during work, even though it's lyrical, which is something I normally can't do. But something about this is just like, it's very poppy and synthy, and it all blends in. Like, I think it does something. It does the like flowing from one song to another very, very well. I think of playing the game itself, Sayonara Wild Hearts. It's a rhythm action game. It feels a lot like you are playing the music video for these songs. Definitely, like the lead song is Clair de Lune, which gets tons of points for me because that's my favorite song ever. But it's like a cool synthy poppy version of Clair de Lune. It's not all all remixes of classic songs. Like mostly it's original stuff. But it's a fun story, really cool game that does clever stuff throughout and surprises you. I think feeding into the fact that like the songs flow so well is like there's an endless mode after you beat every level where you can just play the entire game out in one run. I haven't done that. That seems incredibly intimidating, but super cool game. Highly recommend it. And the soundtrack, even if you don't play the game, is also just a good time. Lots of positive vibes. Funky at least once. Yeah, loved it. Anyway, Ben.
I had a lot of good options and I really couldn't pick one, but I will pick one. I mean, if we're going to talk about video games with great music, I feel like this is sort of like the obvious, like, I don't know. This is one of the obvious ones. Like everybody always talks about this whenever they're talking about what video games have the best music. Persona 5 has some really good music. And, it's from the same composer as Personas 3, 4, Catherine, I believe it's Shoji Meguro. I don't know if I'm emphasizing syllables correctly. That's not my area of expertise. But Persona 5 has some great bangers, and also it seemed like a way to mention that those other games that I listed have some great bangers. The first time I played Persona 3, I was like, what is this music? This is all very wild and cool and stuff. And like then by the time we get to Persona 5, just on the top of the dang game. The music's really good. The music in the cafe is really good. The fight music, that's really good. Oh, the music when you're heisting really gets you hyped. Don't you just want to rebel against all those shitty adults? That's the phrase they keep using. I don't know what that's translated from, but they repeatedly make reference to shitty adults in Persona 5, and the music really captures that spirit of rebellion, but also just, the beauty of living a full life and all the diverse experiences that come with it as you, navigate Tokyo and make friends and, do your stuff. Persona 5. Play it if you haven't. It's been out for like a bajillion years. They keep releasing it on more things.
I think you can play it on Switch now.
Yeah, you can definitely play it on Switch.
You couldn't when Joker was added to Smash. It was kind of weird. I was like, I want to play this game, but I can't.
Yeah, you can play Royal on Switch now, right? I think Persona 5 Royal is everywhere.
Yes.
And that's a great version of the game. But yeah, first came out on the PS3. They just keep releasing everything from that console generation a bajillion times. So there's probably, you can play Persona 5 if you haven't yet, and you should, because it's a fun game. Pretty cool.
All right. And what's next week's homework?
And next week's homework, in honor of Disney Plus's Ironheart television program, about which I will not shut up. I like it. I don't like it that much. It's not the only thing I talk about in my regular life. It's just that we have a Marvel Snap podcast and it's low-hanging fruit. And anywho, we are all going to build a deck with Ironheart in it. She just got a buff. You can play her on curve now. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. I am not telling you what those 1s and 2s should be. We're just making Ironheart decks. Listeners, join us in making Ironheart decks. Are they Surfer decks? Who knows? Are they Ravonna decks? Who knows? Are they Clea decks? Anything is possible. Who am I to tell you? This is the secret homework for you, my co-hosts, and our listeners. And only you know which 11 cards belong with Ironheart. So get on it.
Okay, love it. If you liked what you heard, like, comment, subscribe. You can leave comments on YouTube or Spotify. You can review us on iTunes or Spotify. Or you can come hang out with us in the Speakeasy, our little corner of Discord for the Snap Judgments League. Instructions are in the show notes or video description. We're proudly part of the Snap Judgments Network, where you can listen to other great shows like The InfiNOT by Kier Nimbus on Saturdays. The episodes are like 20 minutes long. Really good if you're looking for a shorter form podcast, like Keep Up with the News or whatever. Anyway, I promised Title Tussle last week, forgetting that this week was ranking week. So next week for sure, I already have it over halfway done. Title Tussle 6, if you can believe it. Tune in for that. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Yay.
Thanks
I
for
know we're
keeping it
past your
tight and
hard
snappy,
stop
guys.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I tried. It's not in my nature. I don't know.
I think we're
Sometimes
doing
I
okay.
think it sounds like it feels like I'm talking for much longer than I'm actually talking, but I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know.
I gotta go.
Do we have things?
Yeah,
Okay.
Lauren's gotta go.
All right.
It's been real.
It has.
Don't forget, wait, don't close it out. Like, you
I'll
have
leave
to,
it.
you have to
I'll leave
upload.
it to
Okay.
upload.
Ooh, good thinking. All right.